He's just got to do that to get the phone off.
Are you rolling? Speed? So how did you first hear about the program, the Art Nemesis program?
I guess I've been aware of the Art Nemesis program since somewhere in the early 80s, something like that, when I think, it'll take just a second. When did we decide it was? It came to my retrospective in Germany. That's when I found out that he was related through marriage, I think, to Phil Glass. So I sent a Phil Glass image to Germany. Okay.
Tom, can you come a little bit more this way? I mean, I like that. Chuck, are you talking into this? If you're glad.
This one?
Yeah,
Okay.
this is the one.
All right.
I'm reading if you want to move because
I guess I first became aware that there was even art in embassies and in the residences around the time that Mondale became the ambassador in Japan, and also Richard Holbrooke, when he was the ambassador in Germany, would put some work in there. And over the years, tried to help locate pieces and talk to other people, try and convince them to participate. And I also did some work with FAPE. I did a print, a linoleum block print, a copy of which will go into every American embassy around the world or the residence. I said at the time when President Clinton thanked me for doing this, I said that I thought that the embassies were probably full of a lot of images of dead white men. So by doing an image of Roy Lichtenstein, at least I made sure one of those images was of an artist. But I think it's really incredibly important that, that our government acknowledges the central role that artists play in society, and that it stands for something that's extremely important, which is the fact that at all costs, a free and open society the notion of a free and open society has to be protected, and that the mark of a great society, it seems to me, is one that tolerates ideas that are unpopular or that are difficult, and the fact that we as a country, our artists don't have to make art that serves the needs of the government. We don't have to make propaganda. We don't have to explain the system. Artists are independent agents, and that our government recognizes the importance of this dialogue and of this free and open expression.
So would you encourage other artists that you know or artists across the board to participate in the program?
Mm-hmm. You let me know when you're ready. I might repeat something I said. I'm trying to say it a little better, okay?
Yeah,
all right.
All
right. But I'll try to address that. Whether let me know when you're ready. Okay. I certainly encourage all artists to participate in this important program and to make sure that the best art gets into embassies. Emerging artists' work as well as more established artists. I think it's really important that people in other countries, especially those countries that may not have access to a lot of contemporary art and the best of American contemporary art, have some exposure Of course, it's also that art is a background for important conversations and debates and meetings that take place in the embassies and in the residences. And it's a constant reminder, it seems to me, of the central position that the arts play in our society, and that our country recognizes the importance of the arts. It's a symbol, in a sense, of what makes our system different from a lot of others. And one of the things that makes our democracy envied by people everywhere is our commitment to free and open expression, freedom of speech. It seems to me that a great society it can be judged by the willingness of its people to tolerate ideas other than their own for that greater good of a free and open society. So it's constantly emphasizing, not in a propagandistic way, not just as a alternative to Soviet realism or other societies which have asked its artists to propagandize for the government, but as a key indicator of just what a central role art plays in our society.
Very good. Very smooth, very articulate. Yeah. Like that.
Go ahead, sir. Next question.
Little.
Brittany, what was the question that you were about?
It's the next generation of perception of what the residents should be doing, where now ambassadors and spouses are doing a lot of outreach, so it's the full spectrum of the population that gets a chance to see the art, get to know America people to people.
So I should say that I hope that this trend continues.
Yes. Hang on, I'm just going to adjust that. Tom, can you please use Chuck's ears as much? I
Well,
like that angle. No,
So go ahead. You be comfortable.
Stay
Good.
there.
You be comfortable. I can move the camera if I need to.
Oh,
Okay,
sorry.
that's nice, going to that, but return to position one, position two, return to position one.
So I should look at this camera still?
That's it, that's the camera you follow.
Okay.
Always, even when he's around the
A little
side?
tighter, a little tighter.
No, when he's around the side, you just want on
Yeah.
the back. Look at me then. So
Yeah.
don't
Don't
contort yourself.
Yeah.
It was written before, but that's fine. Okay. Okay, ready, roll.
So what am I talking about? Oh,
Our new generation's wider.
right.
And in the audience.
I think initially art probably went into the residences and into the embassies. You know, perhaps few people actually, other than the diplomatic corps and people who had official business, were aware that the art was there. But I think there's a tendency now, which I hope will continue, you know, to increase access for other people. And I think it'd be great if that trend continues, and that lay people and the curious art students, other artists in other countries, have an opportunity to really use the embassy and the residence as a kind of resource. In a way, it is these places are our outposts in all of these countries, and especially where this work would, I think, have the most impact would be on those third world countries, emerging societies, where there has been precious little contact with American art and with Western culture. So I hope this trend continues. Talk about having been in Europe in the '60s and the importance of American exhibitions of art that you know that came through. Also,
Yeah,
I've had my
started in '64, so
Yeah.
that's very appropriate.
yeah. I think I was about 64 when I was in Europe. Yeah.
Okay, rolling.
In around 1964, I was in Europe, and it was extremely important event that American art came to Europe. I remember seeing, I was on a Fulbright, and I had access to the embassy as well. But major American exhibits hit Europe like a storm. It just took over the minds and hearts of the people in a way that was really quite astounding. And I guess it was the comparison with what was going on behind the Iron Curtain that this, gee, I'm glad somebody else does that. And a professional, too. All right, we rolling? In the early '60s, I think around 1964, I had a Fulbright, and I was living in Vienna, had access to the embassy there, and I remember exhibitions of American art taking Europe by storm. It was astounding to see how American abstract expressionist paintings became such an example of what our society is like, especially in comparison with Soviet realism, which was where the art had to serve the needs of the government. But what was I going to talk about?
About, I guess, the correlation between...
Oh, portraits, yeah,
right.
Okay. One of the things that that I think is sort of interesting is embassies tend to be full of portraits. I don't know why they tend to dominate so much. I made a portrait of Roy Lichtenstein, which I made a linoleum block print, which one copy of which will go into every American embassy around the world. And I thought at the time that since they have so many portraits hanging on the wall, and Roy Lichtenstein had just recently died, he was also someone who had contributed a great deal to the embassies, art and embassies, and to FAPE, and had already contributed a work of his own, in addition to his own and individual works as well. So I put this image of Roy Lichtenstein in all the embassies because I thought embassies are full of pictures of dead white men. At least one of them ought to be an artist. In many respects, all of my work has been based on limitations, severe self-imposed limitations, limitations that I have superimposed on my work myself. But long before I was physically handicapped, I started out life as learning disabled. So in many ways, my whole life I've been dealing with limitations of one kind or another. Actually, why am I talking about this in terms of this program?
Are you drawing an analogy between the limitations of students in many of the
And also because many of these countries, like Rwanda, will have children who have young artists who have also had limitations
Right.
physically because of the war
Okay.
in mines, and also in Cambodia. And I want to send it out to those places to support,
So, right.
to support your collections there, your thematic collections there.
Okay. So maybe, can I just sort of start up where I left off?
Yeah.
Yeah. It seems to me that one of the things that one of the roles that art can serve, and one of the examples that we can set is how limitations and problems can be overcome, and that it's extremely important, I think, in countries in which severe problems, not enough food, no decent water, relatively non-existent educational system, that the word can go out to individuals that even in the middle of terrible circumstances, not everyone will be swept down in this vortex, that individuals can survive, that individuals can triumph and can overcome any sort of limitation. And it's always great to hold out that hope.
Thank you, that was very good. One second.
Anytime you're ready.
She's not.
That's good.
Or the relationship of the sitter to the portrait. I mean, if you feel like there is a relationship, since what we've got of yours and embassies around, I mean, we could be talking about your work a little bit, whatever you.
Okay, well, first let me talk about the
Developing countries.
yeah, about the.
Okay.
Mhm. There's a ladder back there if you want one.
I'm vertically challenged.
Paint.
Oh, dear. We'll be done in a second.
All right,
Okay,
rolling.
are we ready?
Ready?
I come from really a humble background. I grew up in the northwest of the United States in the state of Washington in a poor mill town, and one of the things that's really important for me is that my work get out and not just be the possession of the wealthy and disappear into private homes. So I've worked very hard my whole career to get work into public collections and to have that work be available to people of no financial means. And it's extremely important, I think, that we do this abroad as well, and that we make this art accessible to people who are not well connected, not wealthy, not politically important. But as an artist, it's extremely important for me that it's not just the plaything of the elite, the rich, and the powerful. Too much of a problem with the siren? What do you want me to say about that?
Well, isn't it all people who are connected to you somehow or
Oh.
another? Isn't,
Yeah.
um,
Okay. We rolling?
Yes, sir.
Okay. A lot of portraits. The history of portraiture is a history of wealthy and powerful people. People who could afford to commission works to be made from them, or political leaders, or captains of industry, This is who traditionally portraits have been made of. My whole career is about painting family, friends, and colleagues, other artists, and trying to make paintings about regular folks. And these people, none of whom own their own image, in an act of generosity, lend me their image without any control over what I'm going to do with it, and without any effort, you know, to let me just back up. Let me just back up a little bit to say. It's extremely important to me that images of just regular, everyday folks be the subject of my portraits. So it's family, friends, and my colleagues, other artists, all of whom have been generous in lending me their image without any control over how I'm going to use it. None of these people own their own image, and these are not destined for the, you know, to hang over the fireplace in the sitter's home. So it's nice to have them get out and stand for the community, stand for the art world, and in a funny kind of way, sort of family values. It's nice to recognize that that the family is not just a kind of narrow mother, father, and 2.5 children, you know, with a station wagon with wood on the side, but that there are all kinds of people make up our society, and all kinds of people of all races and ethnic groups and whatever, you know, are represented in my paintings.
You ain't never been blue. No, 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 no. You ain't never been blue till you had that move and let go. That feeling goes stealing down to my shoes while I just sit here and sigh. Go long blue. I left a note on his dresser, my old wedding ring, with these goodbye.